And we have a wonderful group of people here. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about blind spots. Very, very simple idea, very important idea. And many idea why I start talking about blind spots in the last 3 months is because we discovered that most people on a spiritual journey want to have clarity, want to know. You know, everybody going on a spiritual journey. I want to know what's going on. Most people don't want to know that they don't know. That's a difficult spot to be, you know. Once you discover that you don't know, you're not happy. People, when they start to realize, I don't know, I really don't know. So people immediately want to get out of the I don't know into the knowing. They don't want to stay in the I don't know. People get scared. People get scared. I don't know what's going to be tomorrow. I don't know if that's my soulmate. I don't know if that's my good business partner. We don't know something, we get scared. Within the I don't know, there is a secret. Many spiritual paths talk about the place of being in the place of, I really don't know what's going on, and be okay with that. Most people would like to be in a place where they have clarity about everything. And it's a good desire, it's a good concept. But within the I don't know, there is a lot of secret that we need to reveal. Because the blind spot, the area where you have no idea what's going on, is actually bigger than the place where you think you see everything. Because think about it. When you're looking at people, you see, right? You see different faces, different nose, different lips. You're framing it. When you're framing it, you create limitation. When you get into a place, if you take the camera, the photography, whatever it is, and you unfocus things, you're seeing everything, but you can't see the details. The blind spot of a human being is a very important part to recognize it. And once you recognize it and you don't get humiliated by that, your life begins to change. It's the beginning of your spiritual journey in every single area. And you got to take it with excitement. So I'm going to go first to 3 steps. After the 3 steps, we're going to go and explain those things. And then we're going to do a little workshop. No big deal. Okay? So let's start with a simple idea that to discover basically the unknown in your life. What is it that you don't know? Basically, it's very difficult to answer that because you don't know that you don't know, right? You know things that you don't know. But let's say, for example, I don't speak Chinese. I know that I don't know Chinese, right? That's something there. So you need to come up with a list of the thing that you know. You know that basically you don't know, and then come the tough one. I don't know that I don't know. How big is the last one? Endless. I don't know that I don't know. Now, in that part of I don't know that I don't know, that's exact the spot where everything comes to life. You drive your car. You have a small car. You drive it. You got a truck that you can see. You want to change lane. Your life is in danger. That's your blind spot. So our life is like driving a little car or driving our life. Very simple. If you don't see, you make decision based on what you think you see. In a relationship, people are getting into a relationship. In a relationship, always those 3 areas are very important. I know that I don't know will save your relationship. If you get stuck always in the area that you think you know everything, always things will go wrong. So we got to get into a spiritual path where step by step we start discovering the area where we don't know. Now, the second thing, and I'm going to go into the details in a second. The second thing is, another tough thing to do is to be open to listen. Now, the beginning of seeing the blind spot is by listening. We're going to do exercise how to listen tonight. But to getting into a place when we open to listen. According to mysticism, according to Kabbalah, according to the Golden Dawn, according to Freemason, according to all the mystical group in the world, we believe that things are talking to you, minerals talking to you, crystals talking to you, vegetables talking to you, animals talking to you, and Also, I don't know if you heard about it, human talking too. But mostly we don't like to listen to them, okay? But the universe is speaking to us and telling us, hey, there's a certain blind spot you got to see. Wake up. What do we do normally? We kill the messenger. We don't want to hear what I have to say because within that area, there is a secret about what can make my life better. But the blind spot can embarrass some people. It doesn't make me feel good all the time. It makes me feel terrible. It makes me feel terrible to know that I don't know. If you want to insult someone, you go into a chef, let's say you go into a kitchen, and the chef is cooking, and you just say, hey, if you're making, we talk about fettuccine alfredo before that, hey, I think you put the wrong milk in the pasta. The chef will be very upset. Because you remind him something he doesn't know. So when it comes to us, okay, is the step number 2 is be open to listen. So first, step number 1 is to be aware that maybe there is something I don't know. Step number 2, now be open to listen. Be open to listen means to everybody. It's not just to a human. Sometimes the birds, do what the birds do on your head the wrong day. It's a message. This is something about the blind spot. You're getting angry, you get upset, you just didn't cross the street, and your life was safe. You don't see everything. There is message that we can see. There is big dog barking at you, chasing you. You go to the other street, you meet your soulmate. You don't know things that are happening around you. This big picture. We're seeing life from here. The angels see life from here. So it's a little different. Because when you look at the navigation system, it's looking at life from above. That's actually what the navigation system do for you. And that's why you can tell what's coming. We need to start to get our vision into a higher level, and that's why the blind spot will disappear. The reason we sit in the car and we don't see something is because we can't. We just can't. There's a half a second when the car passing you, and that's the half a second that can put your life in danger. Step number 3 is a step that most people do mistake at that level with a blind spot. It's called to get excited. Most people, when they discover something about their life that they don't know, there's two types of people. There's a type of people who get depressed and beat themselves up. Oh, how stupid I was. How stupid I was. How stupid you were. You just saw something that you couldn't see before. It's a great news. You just discovered something that is not working. Great news. Now take it to the next level and start doing something with it. You just realize that you couldn't see something. For example, I shared that example on the video that I'm sure you all watched that video. I put it on Facebook. And on the video, I share a story that happened to me in Queens, New York. And we were in a dinner, and I was dating my wife. We were not married yet, but a pilot was sitting to my right, good friend, and a group of people, and we were having a good time. We have a good wine and a good time. And I don't know if the wine was that great, but it was a good time. Okay? And we're sitting together, and I say something. I tell a joke. I thought it was funny. I like to tell jokes on the table. And the gentleman left the table. And I'm like laughing and having a good time. And my wife, say, can I tell you something? Yeah. This guy just get insulted from you. What did I say? I didn't say anything. Funny. It was a man joke. This is a man thing. So no, it wasn't a man thing, Eliyahu. It was insulting. You insult the person. Go apologize to him. I said, apologize for what? So, being Israeli, I have a different manners. I'm not American. At that time, I was only 10 years in America. Now I'm 28 years here. So things change. Get married. American wife. It's a little different. So what happened? I went to him. He was outside smoking a cigar. Looked upset. I said, hey, how you doing? Sorry if I hurt you. He was turning to me and said, wow, Eliyahu, you really got it? You really knew that I was hurt? And those of you who know how honest I am, I usually don't like to lie. I said the truth, I didn't. And here we go bad again, right? I didn't know that I insulted you. I just was told by my wife that I was saying the wrong thing. He said, would you like to know what you did? I said, I do. What happened? Say, about 10 minutes before you tell the joke, I talk about my mother who was sick. His mother was very, very sick. And your joke was about a son and a mother. You were not even sensitive to my pain about my mom. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. So he told me, he said, not seeing it, it doesn't mean I don't get hurt. I said, you're right. So that was my blind spot. So my blind spot was about sensitivity, or being aware of who's around me when I talk. Everybody has a blind spot. When you discover the blind spot, instead of beating yourself up, instead of hating yourself, get excited. Wow, I studied something, I just learned something new. Okay, I didn't know. We are babies. We are babies in the blind spot. Babies, what's beautiful about babies is that babies want to study every day something new. I don't know if you have children, but baby, they start walking, they fall, they try again. They don't know what's the next thing. They don't know what fire is. They don't know what cold. They don't know nothing. They don't know what stairs is. They don't know anything. But the beautiful is they try to discover, and then they know bad from good, good from bad, and they grow to the next level. Step number 3, remember, is the most important step in the blind spot lecture. Getting excited when you realize that you don't know. And don't worry, we're going to do session 1 is tonight, and session 2 will be next week. So we're going to make sure that to cover all the information. Now, let's go into more details. But before we go into details, is it clear so far? 1, 2, 3, clear to everybody? Good, good, good. Because I don't know if you have paper to take note or phone to take note. But I think it will be available eventually, the video. Okay, so it will be available. So let's now get to step number 1. Spiritual journey. What is a spiritual journey exactly? Spiritual journey, meaning that there is a soul within us, right? We're born with a soul and a body. It's 2 aspects to our existence. The body represents the limitation. The soul represents the endless. That soul, according to Kabbalah, according to the study of spirituality, is a beautiful little piece of the Creator, what we call the divine, what we call the light, whatever you want to call it. So now we have contradiction within us. We have one side of us totally limited, totally selfish, and one side of us, which is God himself, the divine, is living inside. Okay, so we build, when we gather a lot of people together to do spirituality, to study spirituality, we actually get God in the room. We got the divine in the room. That's what makes it so beautiful. When people gather for spiritual reason, those spark, the pieces coming together, that's God. Now, sometimes people gathering together for the body. That's not God. Okay, I want to make sure. What's the attention? If you gather just for the body reason, and that's why the Talmud writes that one of the dangerous things is when you go to eat. When you go to eat and you gather a lot of people for dinner or for a feast or doing something together, you got to be careful. It can create anger, can create jealousy, can create evil eye, can create all kind of problem. So if the food is included spirituality, we're holding hand, we meditate, we want to give food to the soul, not just to the body, and of course, that's taking you to the next level. So the journey of spirituality, we have to be aware there is a soul, okay? And that soul is being awake to know what's right and what's wrong. The problem is that we have body, and the body also have right and wrong. So whatever might be painful for the body is a pleasure to the soul. Whatever might be pleasure for the body, okay, painful for the soul and the other way around. So the soul and the body are not in the same level. Few people who are capable to transform their body into a soul level is the people who are able to hold on their desire for the body. Whatever it is, a sexual desire, a physical desire to eat, comfort desire for the body. And it's all not about how many hours you're doing it. It's the important moment. When you want to say something wise, and it doesn't sound wise to the other person, and you're able to shut up, the body now is in your control. But if you're not capable of doing that, then of course it's difficult, because then the body becomes the boss. So spiritual journey means the beginning of allowing the soul to take over. Once the soul take over, things start to change. And that's why that's the blind spot. Because the body, with the 5 senses, can see everything. The 5 senses will not let you see everything. And that's the first step of every spiritual person, is to know that there is a blind spot in my life. I'm not patient, I'm not sensitive, I'm jealous, okay, I discovered it, now celebrate, right? Number 3, remember? Number 2 is to listen. And we're going to practice now how to listen. Tonight we're going to go into 3 levels of how to listen. Basically, if I give you the basic idea in business, when I coach cooperation, usually what they give them, there used to be 25 years ago a style that's called LAST, I don't know if you heard about it, is listen, apologize, solve, and think. That used to be LAST. Listen, apologize, solve, and think. And I'm not going to run the whole thing because I don't have. Listen, apologize, solve, and think. Say thank you in the end. Yeah. So the listening is a very important part, obviously. So they teach it usually to people who serve coffee, like in Starbucks. Okay, so a customer complain about the cappuccino. So you listen, but you become an active listener. And you ask, we're making fun of cappuccino in Italy. That's why we have a joke. Because when I was in Italy, I said cappuccino, they don't know what I want for them. The espresso, everybody agree. And then you're doing the cappuccino, that's not like America. Okay, but anyway. So you go and the person is not happy with their coffee. They complain, they say something. There is an active listener. You ask question, okay? Then there is basically apologize if they didn't like it. You don't apologize you apologize for what they're going through. Then you solve the problem, then you think. That's cooperation. Listening in spiritual level has to do with your mouth and has to do with your ears. The code for the ears, if you can remember that, is B-I-N-A. It's called Bina. Remember that word. The code of what the divine created us in the image of the divine, that area called Bina. You don't have to remember everything. Remember, there is audio and video later. B-I-N-A is called Bina. The code for the mouth is called Malchut. And you can write it as you wish because it's Hebrew words, is M-A-L-C-U-T. Malchut. Basically, the communication between Malchut, Bina, and I'm going to explain it, is the communication between the lower world to the upper world. That's why the way the face has been shaped, and maybe in a few months I'm going to give lecture how to read people. That's what I did for 30 years. So I will teach you how to read the face based on where the location of everything in your face is. There is a lesson like that. But before we go there, the Bina, that level, okay, the ears themselves is a very important part in your body. That's where you receive information based on sound. The lips is the only free will you have. The only free will you have is actually in your lips. You can only control what you say. You can control what you see. You can control what you smell. You can control what you hear. You can control what you say. Okay? Remember that. So when people come and talk to you about your blind spot, usually it's the area where you don't love to listen. You don't like to hear. I remember about, I would say, 6 years ago, I was 70 pounds larger than what I am. It was more of me. And lately I'm thinking about that time. And I say, why nobody talk to me about it? People talk to me, but I didn't want to listen. They told me different things. They told me, Eliyahu, there is a nice vegan restaurant. Would you like to go with me? They were afraid of me. They were afraid to tell me because I get angry if somebody tell me about don't eat cheese. And I remember when the doctor wanted to talk to me about it, I said, I don't know, I'm getting weight here. I'm only eating 2 jars of sour cream and with corn chips and potatoes. That's it. I mean, that's at night. I want to end up the night with dairy so it will be good vitamins in my body. And the doctor was looking at me like, and I remember I came back home, I said to my wife, this is a bad doctor. He doesn't seem smart. He doesn't understand. And everybody was patient with me, and nobody told me nothing. In the end, I end up in emergency room, okay? In the emergency room, blood pressure go up, problem. And I remember that I was open to listen to that doctor who happened to be a professor in Boca Raton. I live in Florida. He was Israeli. I mean, from all people, they put a professor from Israel there in the hospital when I came in. Why him? And he was straight like I am. You know, he told me in my face, hey, buddy, it's going to be with you. I mean, are you willing to do something about the situation here? So what situation? So what you say? You're blind? Remember, he told me, you're blind? not blind. What's wrong? I'm strong. My mom told me that I have a heavy bones. It's a true story. She convinced me that I have a heavy bones. I said, what heavy bones? He looked at me as a professor. I said, what heavy bones? And he touched my stomach. He said, this is not heavy bones. And I cried. And those of you who know I'm tough, I don't cry. I was embarrassed. He embarrassed me. But I heard him. And I came back home, and I hate my new life. My new life was eat less and walk more. And I have to tell you, my life changed. Because I started meeting different people in my life. I met a doctor, very famous guy, Dr. Bob Willix, his name, who teach me all about diet. He has a team. And Synergetic was the group, right? Synergetic. And we start working together. I teach him spirituality. He teach me about the body. Blind spot was open. So that's the first aspect, guys. When a mouse talks, when you see a lips moving toward you and you don't like what they have to say, open your ears. 66% of the time you listen, 2 ears, 33% of the time you talk. So when the 33% approaching you, you gotta listen. That's one style. Second style. In the next style, we're gonna do a little exercise. And can you divide it to two? Everybody will have a partner. You're good there. You have your partner. Just be careful with the camera there. Okay, what I want you to do. Okay, you comfortable? You're comfortable to listen? Now, I don't want you to talk now because I will explain in a second why. We have if somebody's missing someone, Debbie will be able to help, I will be able to help. We have in our body the circle of energy. The right hand is always the giving hand. I will teach you when we get into the deep stuff. This is called chesed. The left hand is called gvura, is the energy of receiving. Always energy coming in and going out. Remember, that's a circle of energy. Always, for every human being. When we would like to give a message, we will basically use the right hand. Now, what I want you to do, and is it okay to ask you to stand or it will be too much? Can you stand? Okay. Just be careful on the camera there. Thank you. What I would like you to do is, please don't speak. It's very important not to speak now because you're going to channel something. What I want you to do, Debbie, can you come here for a second? I want to show you. What I would like you to do, basically, you're going to hold your right hand to the left hand of the person you want to give the message to. So one giving the message without talking. But how do you give the message? You're asking the divine, you're asking the creator to use you as a channel to give the answer for your friend. So they will be able to remove the blind spot and see what's going on in their life. Now, the person on the left hand is to be open to receive that message because it's not your message. It's the divine message that's coming through you to them. And you're using your right hand, they use the left hand, then the energy flow to them. And they will receive it either tonight, to a dream, to the angel Gabriel, or either they will get it right away. Depends how open you are, okay? So then we change. Then I will be open and Debbie will tell me, without words, the divine will go through Debbie and she will tell me, Eliyahu, I want to show you a blind spot. Okay? So let's do this exercise. Remember, don't speak. It's very important not to speak. So just decide who's going first. Okay. Now look at each other in the eyes. All right. Very good. Now if you want to share your experience with one another for a few minutes, you can share if you felt something. So it's quite important to understand that we don't know. And from this moment on, I see that your chakras start opening, the blue color is in the room, so I'm very happy about it, which means we have more clarity. And it will be very important from this moment on to commit to yourself. It's very important to make that commitment that I will be open to listen. But not to listen because I want to use my manners to be kind and listen to people, which is nice too, it's a good start. right? But it's going to be something more than that. There is so much in life that I've been missing. So much in life that I've been missing. I will share with you a story. A gentleman who's living in LA, very busy with his business. He does very well for himself. And in one point, the business crashed. Didn't work out. And he realized, he woke up in the morning and he realized he has 3 kids. He woke up, he didn't know he has 3 children. I mean, he knew, but he didn't know. And he was sitting depressed outside because he has to give away his house, big home on Mulholland, if you know where that area, beautiful home. And gotta give it away, no money. And he's sitting in the garden and depressed, doesn't know how to make his family happy, doesn't know how to make his wife happy, doesn't know what to do, the kids happy, what to do. And his daughter come to him with a $5 bill. And she say, hey, father, can I pay you $5? I said, look, for what? He gets so upset with I don't need your money. I'm okay. He said, father, usually I never see you here at the house, so how much is it cost to play with you the game? Yeah. He woke up. He has a spiritual awakening at that moment. You know, that was the moment that he changed his life. So what do you mean? He started to realize you want to play a game with him that he never was there. He thought the happiness come from the expensive toys. He bought them that car in those days. It used to be that car that drive for kids and all this and that. His blind spot was money can fix everything. Because he was growing up poor. And his father, when things went well, he took them to restaurants. He took them to expensive places. So in his brain, psychologically, I'm not talking about spiritually now, psychologically, he grew up with the concept money mean equal love. For some of us, food equal love. People like me, food was equal love. It's still, food mean love. So my blind spot, I see food, you know. Some people see food and let it go. I can't. I see dessert. When I came to America first, I didn't know the dessert is for the whole table. I thought that the dessert is for me. So my blind spot, again, sensitivity, addiction to food, is making the person being aware of things and start to get excited. Because you're aware. He's excited now. He will give you a whole lecture about it's not important to go to fancy places. It's important, are you with the people? Are you engaged? I see sometimes parents angry with their kids that they're texting. I have that father who told me that his son texting him from his room if he can get him water. So what do you mean? He said, yeah, he texts me. He doesn't talk to me. He doesn't talk to me anymore. He just texts. He's a teen. I say, hey, Pa, what's going on? I said, can I come talk to you about it? Said, no. Text me. What's up? What's up? You know? So the idea is, if you get angry with the people around you or give you that message, you're missing the blind spot. Because the blind spot might be, what can I do better? How can I change my relationship to human beings, to people? How can I open myself up to see what I don't see? If my children don't want to communicate with me, maybe I don't want to communicate with them. We are living in a very isolated environment lately. The internet, the WhatsApp, the computer, everything is into frame. We are in a box. We're getting into a box. Not just the skull, not just the brain. We are in a box. This is how we live our life. There's nothing we can do about it. But can we make it better when we are together? And it's not just family. It's not just husband and wife. It's everything. Make it better. You cannot never make it perfect. Don't even try. There is a little help that I would like to advise you to do when you go home. I do that when I want to answer. I light a candle. When I light a candle, I'm asking for the angels from above to come and help me. That's what I do usually. I light a candle. Because candle, in the old language of Hebrew, is ner. N-E-R. Ner. Ner is the initial of neshama, which means in Hebrew soul. And R is ruach, which means spirit. The soul and the spirit come back to life when you light the candle. Candle has power, by the way. That's why you pay more money when you go to a restaurant with candle, right? So it's true, by the way. You put the candle, you light it tonight, and you ask for your guardian angel to help you to see more. And the way you speak, it has to be humble. You don't sit on the floor when you do it, because that's for a different type of meditation. You want to sit on a chair, you want to sit above the floor. You sit above the floor, the angels, and you ask it. Those of you who want to do it perfectly, okay? You always want to do it on Thursday night, between 12 midnight, okay, till 4 a.m. That's the best time to connect, if you really want to do it perfect. So Thursday night, remember, is the most powerful night, and especially between midnight to 4 a.m., okay? I know it's a difficult time for most people like to sleep, but if you do it at any other time, it's still working. You light the candle, say, I'm open to my guardian angel to show me, to tell me, to guide me. I'm open. And then things will start opening up to you. People will start coming to you. Weird things will start happening, but you have to be open. You know? Things will just guide you step by step. You're going to start meeting different people. It will be so beautiful if you open. Okay? That's the third level. I didn't want to do it tonight because candles are where we're going to put it and all this and that. But you can do it. You can do it like that and it works amazing. If you can do it at home, when you come home, it will be just amazing. Bless you. Now, the other part is that we want to listen, is to be able to listen to our soul. Our soul is almost like a teacher from within. We have a teacher inside of us. You can call it master, teacher, guru. We can call it whatever you want to call it. Now, that soul inside of you is always tuned. If I'm willing to listen to myself, then I will hear it. So I would like to do a short exercise. It's something that I would like you to practice at home, because I'm giving you too much information about how to do things, and I want to give you more next week about your soul, where it's come from, Cain or Abel. I will give you more details on that. But try to close your eyes for a second, okay? Just relax for a second. I'm going to do exercise with you. And I want you to focus on your breathing. And when I say focus on your breathing, breathe regular, simple. If you're capable to sit comfortable without crossing arm and leg, would be perfect for you. And then allow the breathing to find you well. Okay? Now, put a little smile on your face so it relaxes the muscle of the face. That's perfect. That's great. And now, be open. Not afraid. Be open. Not afraid. Be open. Don't be afraid. And I want you to go back in time. What I normally do, I use a train. I'm going on a train, and the train has time. And I'm going back to a time where I hurt somebody. A time in my life when I hurt someone, even if it was for all the right reason. Go back into that moment, please. Don't be afraid. Be happy. Don't be afraid. It's a good moment. Try to be in that moment and try to see if you can go 5 minutes before the fight took place, before the insult took place, before the argument took place. Just please go back there to that exact moment. Try to see the expression of their face, the smell. What are you wearing? What are they wearing? What exactly happened? And try to see if you can listen to your soul like it's happening now. What does your soul tell you to do? And what does your soul tell you not to do? Be open, please. Be open. Be open. There's a message right there. There's a message right there. Focus on your breathing slowly. And come back slowly, slowly back to your moment here. Okay? Slowly, slowly. If there is a word that your soul told you, and you feel you're capable of either write it down or either tell it to your partner. If there's something you can share, do it. If it's something you can't share, don't do it. You don't have to. Okay? If it will be possible that you will remember that, because that message that you receive from the soul, it's something that repeats itself for the rest of your life. Your soul is always talking to you, always talking to you, always guiding you. But sometimes the blind spot, don't let us see it, don't let us hear it. Good. Good. Keep it for yourself. It's a very important words. You just heard your soul talking. You just heard your soul guiding you. Is there any question about that part that you want to ask before I'm taking you to another level? Is there any question you want to ask about your soul? Okay. It's good. It's good. All right. One of the things that Kabbalists used to do 3,400 years ago, they used to use name that they say and name that they don't say. The name that they say is activating in the level of, now you know, Malchut. Level of Malchut. The name that they don't say, either they hear it in their head, or either they see it. So there is basically different level of experiential. They call it meditation, but they actually call it itbonenut, which means looking into. Itbonenut means when I'm looking inside something. Or today they can call it guided meditation. Okay? The color that relates blue, I'm sure you relate to the color blue, right? I have blue string here that I'm going to teach you about it. The color blue, those of you who know the chakra, those of you who study it, right? Red, orange, you know a little bit. Okay? Will give us more power, basically, to see, to be open to see, to be open to see. Like red is the foundation. The idea of the color blue, you see it sometimes if you ever travel to Turkey. You know, they use blue for protection from evil eye. All right? Israeli use red to protect from evil eye. Everybody want to be protected from evil eye. That's like the one thing. Okay? Yeah. I don't want to listen, but I want to be protected. So, you don't have to do it, by the way. It's two things that I'm going to give you tonight. This is a name that been used about 4,000 years ago. It's a name for a vision. Now, those of you who read Hebrew, try not to say it. Try not to say it. But if you say it, nothing bad will happen to you. Because the activation of the name is work from the eyes. It doesn't work from the mouth. It's not in Malchut. It's in the eyes. The eyes is called Chokhmah. Activation comes from this level, not from this level. There's things that come from the mouth level. So when we look at that name, if you want to know how to say it, I mean, I can tell you it's called Ari. Like Ari Krishna, that's actually what they use. They use that name for a vision. Okay? And that's why they repeat it many, many times. That's what it says. But the Kabbalists believe for 4,000 years that activating this name with the mouth, bringing it to our physical universe. So we want to keep it in the upper universe. We want to keep it more in the upper universe. You want to help me to share it with everybody? You want to pass it on? Thank you. Can you pass it back? Thank you. And I will teach you about the blue string as well. That name, as long as you need to do it, or people who need to do it, if I have extra, please take extra to your friend. Make sure that you look at that, and when you look at that, you ask for help before you go to a meeting, before you go on a date, before you go to do something serious. Ask for help. Through the name, it becomes your channel to be open to see the area that you don't see. All right? Is there a question?
Should we put it somewhere where we're going to see it all the time?
Yeah, you can do that. You can make it larger if you want. Whatever help you. Whatever make it happen, do it. I don't care how you do it. Just look at it. Look at it is the most important thing. Some people believe to say it. But again, I don't believe to say it, so I have to direct you based on what my belief. The other thing is, it's called a few blue string. And the blue string basically is not something that you want to put on all the time, but if you want to put it on, you can put it on. And normally, there is significant number 7. You can do a 7 tie, or you can do 9 tie, but it has to be from 7 and up. Okay? From 7 and up. Why? Because 7 is the number that relates to our physical universe. Blue is the color of opening. You are able to see the third eye, to see everything, the vocal. You can see things. And the idea of the blue string is not the concept of putting it on and now, oh, I'm part of seeing everything. It's not about the ego. It's about connecting to that chakra, blue, that I am able to see. So when you touch it and you want to know, when you look at the name, it's a sign for you that you're going to awake the part in you that don't want to see, the part of you that don't want to know. So let's say you have a little fight or argument with somebody you love. We all go through that, right? There is something I'm missing there. So you go, you can either touch it, you can look at it. If you don't want to put it on your arm, you can put it in your pocket. I don't care how you put it. You look at the name and say, please open me to see something here. I'm missing something. And then you go ahead and do that. Okay? So you want me to give you? Those of you want, please. Here. You can give one to each one. You can take more than one if there is extra. Yes. Now, you can tie it on your arm, or you can keep it in your pocket, or you can put it in your wallet. I don't care what you're going to do with it. Now, if you tie it on your arm, make sure somebody helping you with that. So people can help you to do a 7 knots. What? You can put next to the red. Yes, not a problem. Not a problem. You can do it on the right, on the left, as you wish. Yeah, please, you can do it now. Why not? Yeah. If you want. If you want. Yes, please.
So you have to create 7 actual knots and then tie them?
If you want, you can tie it on your arm, okay, like they do here. They put some knots, like 7 at least, okay, and you basically, when you put it on someone, you want to bless them that they will be open to see, okay, open to hear, open to be able to see things. But it's to open the blue. You know, remember the color blue, color red. It's based on more on the chakra things than based on different things that the red string represent, okay? If you have a question, don't be shy to ask. You can put it on the right hand as well. It doesn't have to be on the left like the red string, okay? You can put it on the right. It's not a problem. The main thing is to be open to see things that we don't see. To be open to hear things I don't hear.
What's the color red for?
What's that?
Red.
The red is the foundation. Foundation, yes. The blue is actually in the vocal cord, you know? Because if you look at the chakra, you have purple, you have white, you have things. But the blue is giving you actually also the psychic ability to open up things, you know? Because if you know all the color, the blue will relate a lot of time to the vocal. If you know, I don't know how many of you know that, okay? But it's giving you a lot of things. The purple and the white is more in Keter. It's more taking you into crown, into a highest level. So that will make you lost. But the blue will keep you here and still let you know what's going on. So it's very, very important to remember that. Purple and white is more for, what should I say, like out there. You're totally out there. You know? Blue keep you here and still see the clarity. So it's very, very important to understand that. Yes, please.
What's the difference somebody telling you something you don't want to hear, and somebody telling you something that you don't want to hear in the sense that it could be abusive. Neither one you like.
That's a good
to hear.
question.
How do you know?
It's a good question. The question being asked is, how do you know that that person is not abusive and is actually telling you something you need to hear? How do we know? Somebody can scream at you and tell you, stupid, you're so stupid, but you're not. You're not. And it's a great question, great question. And the idea is like that. The soul of a human being know what's going on. You always know. Remember, your priest, your guru, your rabbi, your thing, and it's always first is inside. The teacher can add to it, but cannot change what you think. Who you are has to start from within. You got to find the teacher from within and understand who you are. The core got to be strong. Now, when somebody said stupid, could be they say stupid, you're on the wrong highway. You got to hear what they're actually saying. So even if somebody is abusive and evil, and they talk to me, there is channeling from them to do something that I need to hear. I'll give you an example. I was invited to a party, fundraising, many years ago in Manhattan, big city. I'm arriving to the party, and at that time when the party taking place, I'm a famous teacher there, famous public speaker. I'm showing table number 12. The lady said to me, there is no room in table number 12. Talking to me exactly like that. Many students who knew me in New York, was living there, said, Eliyahu, I think she's in a bad mood. Well, let me take her to another table. So I'm going with them and I'm looking like, what happened? I look at my wife and I'm checking if I did my Israeli thing. I said, did I insult her? She said, no, you did well. So okay, I'm checking my blind spot, all good. Big Moroccan event, amazing food. I don't know if you've ever been Moroccan, and there's food everywhere. And I love food. So we're sitting, we're laughing, we're having a good time, we're drinking, the best. And my wife got to go home, babysitter, she leaves, says, stay here and have a good time. So, okay, you sure? Yes. Staying here, dancing with my friend, dancing with my student. My wife called me before I go to sleep. I said, go to this lady and tell her you're sorry. So what? Tell her you're sorry. I'm telling her you're sorry. Sorry for what? What did I do? She's abusive. Tell her you're sorry. Say, honey, I'm not doing it. Now my friend is next to me. We both have a little drink. And he's screaming. I say to him, he doesn't say I'm sorry to anybody. We saw what she did to him. She screamed at him. And I'm very happy. My group support me and say, yes, I'm with you. So I don't know what happened. Usually my wife, when she goes to sleep right away. She didn't go to sleep. I'm going downstairs, outside of the party. My wife called me again and said, I couldn't sleep, so I'm going to sleep now. Did you say I'm sorry to the lady? So actually I didn't, and I'm not going to say I'm sorry to her. No way. So it's okay. I'm about to get out of that area to the parking, and that lady is outside smoking cigarette, like one after another. Look very angry. And a thought was in my mind, why I don't want to say sorry? Like I'll start asking myself. The blind spot opened up, thanks to my wife. And I realized I'm afraid. I have fear. Embarrassing, but I'm afraid of confrontation. I don't know how to start the I'm sorry, and I don't know where it's going to get me, so I quit. I just don't want to deal with it. I'm not hating her, I just want to get out of this area because I'm afraid she will scream at me again. Growing up with only sister, 3 sisters, right? Only women in my house, so women, cigarette, things, that, scratching, you don't want to mess with anybody. You want to get out of there as soon as you can. So the way I deal with women in my brain, the way my blind spot work is ignore or disappear, run away for your life. I never really, that moment, it's very, very sad, was approaching actually a woman who was upset with me. I never knew how to deal with women who are upset with me. I knew that the way to deal with it is to run away. That's what I knew. Running away is the solution. I didn't know there is another solution to actually talk about what's going on. And I went to her, and I get closer, and she was with a bad face. Bad face. She didn't know I was afraid. She didn't know I was a little shaking. My body was shaking. And the way I look, I look tough. She was like a little short. And I'm coming, but in me, I don't feel what I look. You understand? You feel like a little Maltese, like a little dog. So I'm coming, and I didn't know what to say. So I'm looking at her, and she said, huh? So what I did, I hug her. I hug, and once I hug, so I don't have to look at her, I say, I'm sorry. So I'm so sorry. And she cried. She said, thank you, I have such a bad day, nothing works. And she started talking. And I said, wow, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. She didn't punch me in the face. She didn't scratch me. Nothing. So I didn't know that my blind spot was fear. I was embarrassed when I discovered it. And I want to run away home to be ashamed of myself, that I have fear of confrontation, that I have a fear to confront a woman. I didn't know it, that the way I grew up, it was injected into my DNA. And it was very difficult for me to go ahead and confront, especially a woman who was not happy with my doing. I didn't know how to deal with it. That was the moment of a breaking through with dealing with my blind spot. Now that happened 15 years ago, something like that, 15 years ago. Coincidentally, I didn't see them for many, many years. They went on a journey, I went on my journey. This Saturday afternoon, I'm walking here on Pico, and her husband saw me, said, Eliyahu Jian? So I saw him, and I didn't know how, again, that things came again. I didn't know what to say, if what I say would be right, being a public speaker and a teacher, still didn't give me the confidence that I can go ahead and, hey, how are you? Are you doing? What's going on? It's me. Like, I felt like I did something wrong. Yeah? What happened? I said, nothing happened. It's good to see you. Oh my God, you lost like 70 pounds. I didn't see you. That's you. Start talking, and I ran away. Didn't deal with it. Blind spot. Coming home, quiet. After half an hour, I said to my wife, yeah, by the way, I saw somebody. What did you see? I said, no way, you see that? What are you going to do? Let's go out with them. I said, honey, we need to digest what just happened. I don't understand. He said, why are you so nervous? Because I need to understand it a few weeks to understand how it happened, why they met me, where it come from, So my wife, thank God, don't listen to me, She picked up the phone, call, say, I heard you saw my husband, I'm so happy, what's going on? You are in LA. And he said, let's go to dinner. So right after the class, we're going with them to dinner. So I was a little nervous. I was nervous all week. I said, what are we talking? What's that? Because the fear of confrontation, for me in my case, fear of saying it right, as much as my job is to talk and my job is to help people, my job is to guide thousands of people in my life, still, everybody has a blind spot. Now, your blind spot is based on where your soul came from. And the soul is divided to two. The soul is divided to two from Cain and Abel. If you remember Adam as two sons, that two sons is the foundation of every soul in this universe. What we're going to do next week, we're going to start teaching you how your soul came from, like which path is your soul taken, okay? And that part will start making sure that you understand step by step your exact people you're going to meet. Because if you come from Cain, you're going to meet different type of people. If you come from Abel, you're going to meet different type of people. And when you come from Cain, you're going to understand that some people will make you upset. If you come from Abel, other type of people will have issue. So going back to what you asked before, so it's not about if who is around us doing the wrong thing and the right thing and how do we know that message of. It's more about why they're in my life. That's a real big question. Why am I drawing those people to my life, the wrong one and the right one? If somebody has a great life, you gotta ask why. There's something I'm supposed to do with my life. If I'm rich, I'm supposed to do something with it. If I'm wise, what am I supposed to do with it? If I'm beautiful, what am I supposed to do with it? Because otherwise those gifts turn into a curse. The other way around also. If I'm ending up with the wrong abusive situation, I gotta ask myself, why do I bring that into my life? There is something going on there. There is a message. That abusive person might say the right thing. In between the abusive, we gotta listen to what they say. They call me lazy. Am I lazy? When I grew up, I wouldn't say my parents were abusive, but I will tell you that you see a guitar here, right? So I bought the guitar after I work and I earned money. I bought a guitar. And when I came back home, my mom was Gemini. She doesn't hold back with the words. She say, "Why do you need a guitar with a voice like yours?" You know? So she said, it's like the first. And my father makes sure to say, "How much would it cost you, this guitar? You know, why do you need it?" So they wouldn't pay money for the lesson. So I found a teacher who was ready to teach me guitar, but it was flamenco. Now who plays flamenco? So I want to impress the girls with the little guitar, and I'm coming to the beach, and there's fire. And what do you know how to play? Well, it's a problem, you know. So my parents seem like abusive, but without my parents talking to me like that, it wouldn't give me the guts and the desire to overcome that. So whatever you're going through in your life, even the abusive, as a message for you, are you able to overcome that wave? Am I able to overcome that meeting that I have on Pico? Am I able to overcome whatever bothered me? That's the blind spot we have to overcome. So abusive, or somebody treat you right. Some parents tell their kids they are the best. You know, every mother who comes to see me, I have thousands of meetings in my years of working with people. Every mother who comes to see me say, "My son is the best son. My daughter is the best daughter." Where are the bad kids coming from? Everybody is the best. So the blind spot of the parents is not to see what's wrong with the kids. That's also a problem. You gotta see what's wrong with your kids. You gotta talk to them about it. But don't judge them. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just a blind spot. It might be a blind spot. I have my son, or one of my children, right? He giving everything, you know? And it was a moment that I had to teach him to be a little bit tough and rough. I grew up in a tough neighborhood, okay? So when I saw how my son being treated by other kids, I said, "Listen, sometimes you have to stand up for yourself, say no." Being able to say no. So it's okay to show the blind spot to somebody you love, okay? So in life is a movie. We're living in a movie, and the movie guiding you to the wrong people too, to the abusive people too, to people. Not everybody in my life treat me well. Not everything in my life went well. Actually, the best lesson I got from the wrong thing. From the right thing, I don't even remember what happened. But the wrong thing will teach me the most about my life. The mistake that happened toward me, wake me up. Make me understand. And the abuse that I went through, wake me up. Without abuse, how would I wake up? Because I have to wake up and ask myself, why am I staying there? Why am I still there? What is the part in me that's not willing to see what's wrong and confront it? Is it again my blind spot to say no? That's, my friend, take time. Sometimes take 10 years, sometimes take 20 years, sometimes take 28 years. It all depends on whenever you're ready to deal with your blind spot. I want to thank you, everybody, for coming. And next week, we'll see you again. Thank you.